Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, man. We have a huge trade. CJ McCollum is now on the New Orleans Pelicans. Full trade details are this: the Blazers received Josh Hart, Tomas Satoransky, Nikhil Walker-Alexander, Didi Louzada, a 2022 protected first-round pick, 2 second-round picks, and the Pelicans receive CJ McCollum, Larry Nance, and Tony Snell. So this is a phenomenal trade for the New Orleans Pelicans, man. They got an absolute dog in CJ McCollum. They got a great extra piece in Larry Nance Jr. And then Tony Snell is just kind of Tony Snell. From the Portland Trailblazers standpoint, this is, man, it must suck to be a Trailblazers fan. Trailblazers fans, if you are watching this, remember, you don't have to be a Trailblazers fan. You can be a fan of any team in the entire NBA that you want to be a fan of. So I think it's pretty clear right now. These aren't rebuilding pieces. Josh Hart, Satoransky definitely isn't. Nikhil Walker-Alexander is going to be a nice young piece that they have, you know, along with Anthony Simons, but it's so confusing right now. Portland is just so confusing. Apparently now they want to continue to, as they've been doing ever since he got there, but apparently now they want to shape their roster just fully around Damian Lillard. And I think what they're doing right now is just kind of clearing a bunch of cap space now with both of these two trades, getting rid of Norman Powell and his contract extension, getting rid of CJ McCollum and his contract extension. So I think it's clear they're adding up at least like one open free agent slot, one max free agency slot. The issue is, who wants to go to Portland? I mean, it's hard to imagine a star wanting to go to Portland. I could see a team like maybe, or a player maybe like Christian Wood, Jeremy Grant, maybe like a player like that who hasn't really proved himself on a good team so far in the NBA. No disrespect to either of those two players, but like, I don't know. I don't know what Portland is trying to do. It literally doesn't make sense. From the Pelicans standpoint, this is phenomenal, dude. They're like the 10th seed right now. They're in the play-in. Portland's 11. I think San Antonio's 12. The Pelicans should make the playoffs this year. They should make the playoffs, which is, it's so crazy because literally like 1 month ago, Pelicans were losing a lot of games, and Zion was, suffered another setback, and people were saying just shut down Zion and just go to next season. Well, Brandon Ingram said F that. Brandon Ingram, as I talked about this yesterday, you could argue he's a top 15 dude in the NBA. I mean, this guy is a killer, stone cold killer. So now you have this cool ass big three of CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, and then you have Zion Williamson, but you also have Jonas Valanciunas, you also have Devontae Graham, now you have Larry Nance Jr., like, you have Herb Jones, so you have young pieces, you have almost everything you need to be an enticing target market. So now I'm thinking, well, shit, Zion reportedly wanted out of New Orleans. Well, now you got CJ there, and you still have Brandon Ingram. Got a cool point guard in Devontae Graham, who I guess defensively there could be some work there. But, I mean, Valanciunas this season, absolute stud. This dude has been an absolute stud ever since he left Toronto. So I think right now the Pelicans they're definitely trying to go in. I mean, they're definitely trying to go at it. And I know this is going to sound like a crazy statement, but where the NBA is right now, this specific season, coming off a year where we just had the Phoenix Suns, Milwaukee Bucks finals, who would have thought that? My guess is we have another janky-ass playoffs. I think the playoffs this year are going to be extremely janky. If this season has kind of showed us anything, it's exactly that. It's that this season is up for grabs. Any team can win it. I'm not saying the Pelicans are going to win the championship this year, but the way they've constructed their roster, when Zion Williamson comes back, you don't like. It's not like the Pelicans are an ideal playoff team to play. If they're hot, they're going to be hot. Now, defensively, they're going to have some issues. They're going to have a lot of issues not a lot of issues defensively, but like I alluded to, Devontae Graham isn't the best defensive point guard. CJ McCollum isn't going to be the best defensive guy, but he's definitely still really solid, so maybe that's not really that true. Larry Nance Jr. is actually a really, really perfect piece for him. I don't know what the starting lineup is going to look like. Obviously, Zion Williamson, when he comes back, he'll play. I think Herb Jones, I would imagine, is still going to play. Larry Nance Jr. might come off of the bench, but he might play like 25 minutes still. They definitely have some tweaking that they're going to want to do here. Can't forget about like Jackson Hayes. I mean, the Pelicans' future is really bright. Now, from Portland's standpoint, I honestly, I don't really know what they're doing. I really don't know what they're doing. It's not even like the value they're getting back. It's one thing to rebuild and just kind of clear cap. It's another thing to just get what they're getting back. I mean, I like Keon Johnson. I like Josh Hart. I like Nickeil Walker-Alexander. And they definitely have young dudes who can hoop. And there's a lot of promise and potential there. But I have a feeling they're looking not to do that. I feel like they're looking more for guys like Josh Hart who are on more team-friendly contracts. So next year when they sign all of these free agents, it's filled out with guys like Josh Hart, maybe even Satoransky, but Nickeil, Keon Johnson. The Portland, it's just so confusing. I think we've all been kind of calling for their GM's jobs, but I mean, you obviously have the Damian Lillard injury, but it's just like, what the hell is going on in Portland? And that's why, insert Portland fans, like, you don't have to be a Trailblazers fan. You can be a fan of whoever you want. Damian Lillard, I doubt he gets traded. I've always kind of doubted. Honestly, it was hard to believe CJ McCollum was actually going to get traded. I feel like that's something we've been talking about for several years now. I mean, I think it's clear Portland kind of missed the mark on trading CJ McCollum. I think that they definitely waited a little bit too long to get on that. Now that he's in this point in his career, he's been dealing with some injuries in the past few seasons. Obviously losing a step, but CJ's still a dog. I mean, he's still a borderline all-star. I mean, this guy is phenomenal on both ends of the basketball. So the Pelicans right now, I would imagine they're going to have a really nice second half. I don't know if they're going to be able to get out of the play-in tournament because the Western Conference is so freaking good. But you have to think this is probably one of the best things you could possibly do for wanting to keep your stars happy, right? A lot of this is coming down to you want to put the proper pieces around Zion because you also want to keep him happy. I mean, this is also a 27-7 player. So when Zion comes back, this team is not going to be fun to play against. Who knows? Who knows how far New Orleans is going to go? I'm going to give the Pelicans, honestly, let's go ahead and let's give them an A+. Let's give them an A+. I don't know what they lost, and maybe an A because they had to get rid of Nickeil Walker-Alexander, and he's probably going to be a dog, but still. I mean, from the Blazers standpoint, I don't know, like a C again? I don't know what's up with all these just terrible-ass trades for the Blazers. But that's it for today, guys. Go ahead and drop some comments down below on this trade. Hit the like button, hit that sub button, as always, for daily NBA content. I'll see you guys later.